Hello and welcome to Laptop Retrospective, and today we're going to be taking a look at a ThinkPad, and a ThinkPad, and a ThinkPad, and a ThinkPad. So what we actually have here, ladies and gentlemen, is the X240, which we've seen, the X230 that we've seen, the X220 that we've seen, and the X201 that we've seen on this channel so far. And I thought it would be kind of fun to just very quickly talk about some of the hardware changes that were made, both good and bad, and which ones that I would recommend that you would purchase at the end of 2018. So, with the X201, in my review of this on the channel earlier, I was, I don't know, you could say I was a little bit hard on it. It is older hardware, however, there is a lot to like. You're not going to get USB 3.0, but there's just some kind of rugged beauty to this particular one that I can't help but like. This touchpad is microscopic, but if you're using a ThinkPad and you're hardcore, you know there's only one answer. It's right there. That being said, very well built, lots of screws holding this together. It is very firm. I even told the story about what happened to this particular unit, and it's still looking great. It does still have some nice features like the split headphone microphone jack, which for many people is actually really handy to have. It does have some more antiquated features like a 56K modem, but hey, you never know, I guess. And yeah, it's only got VGA, but really, what else do you need in a lot of situations? So is this still competitive? Yeah, I would say so, but as much as it's a fun little machine, I'm going to have to say I would probably put it in the maybe not if some of these other machines are available. Now, the X220 on this channel really needs no introduction. This has been a fun little project machine, mSATA hard drive, faster Wi-Fi, unlocked BIOS. The only thing that I haven't really done with this unit that I would really like to is maybe spice up the RAM a little bit, throw in an IPS display. But I also need, you know, $100 and some odd to throw away on an IPS display for an enthusiast laptop that I kind of use very recreationally unless I'm doing like troubleshooting off-site somewhere. So that being said, you know, I will do that one day. In terms of what this can offer, there's a, you know, few steps up. You got full-size DisplayPort. You're still only using USB 2.0, unfortunately. The speakers are ThinkPad speakers. You don't have a 56K modem, but you do have that wonderful SD card slot here and more USB ports, so you're not really wanting. It's a nice little unit. However, if you have an X230 or an X240 available, you might want to think about your options. So if we take a look at the X230, this is the favored for many, with the exception, of course, of the keyboard, but we've already talked about that. You're rocking USB 3.0. Still, you got your VGA. You are down to mini DisplayPort, so dongle life is going to happen to you, even for a ThinkPad. Still got express cards, still have your network on-off switch, still have your SD card. You are rocking USB 2.0 on this particular port over here, but you still have 2 3s on the other. You are doing the combo jack again, and of course you have network, and your barrel plug is on the rear. The X230, of course, you can get with the backlit keyboard, so if you prefer that over the ThinkLite, just understand that you are going to have to go with the chiclet style keyboard unless you want to do the X220 keyboard hack. Again, really nice unit, and I can say this was one that I would certainly recommend. Now, the last one that we've got on the chopping block for the very quick speed round that we've got going here is, of course, the X240. Now, the X240 has a very interesting reputation. A lot of people did not like the design changes that happened here, and it showed up in later editions. The fact that you have missing click buttons for your track point annoyed a great deal of people, which is probably why they fixed it on the future versions, but it's not on this one. However, because it's an older model, you can usually get these for a relatively inexpensive price. These do have the internal power bridge battery, which means that the battery life that you are getting on these is monstrous. You're also running U series processors, which means you're sucking a little less battery life for about 10% less power. Your chassis has thinned down considerably. You don't have a barrel plug anymore. Still rocking VGA, and you still got DisplayPort Mini, USB 3.0 over here. And on the other side, USB 3.0, combo headphone jack, you've got a card reader here, and network. So in terms of ports, you're actually doing quite well. Your keyboard is backlit, very similar. The only thing is, the keyboard is the hardest thing to replace on these units. This is not anywhere near as serviceable as any of the other units. Your your RAM is capped on this, I believe, to 8 gigabytes. You're not getting the 16 that you could out of some of the other units like the X220 and X230. However, it's still a very wonderfully built laptop, and that power bridge, and if you don't need that extra RAM, to me this is still quite the contender. I know that might be a controversial opinion, but still, when you look at what other companies are doing and you start to compare outside of ThinkPad's own lineup, there's still an awful lot to like, and if you can find one in good shape at a good price, then, you know, that's always what you have to consider as well. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so let's, you know, kind of quickly wrap up in terms of like which ones do I recommend. Honestly, it'll always come down to your use case, but there are a few things I think I can say regardless of use case. The 201, I think, has seen better days, and the ones prior to that, unless you're doing something very unique with them, they're probably not necessarily going to be the every person, everyday machine. That being said, I know that there are people out there that still use them very effectively. They know how to run them best, but for the average person, there might be a couple things that they're missing or a few things that they look with envy upon more modern machines. The X220 and X230 is an excellent middle ground, and depending on what you value most, there are going to be certain things that you might desire over the other. However, the X230 does punch certainly at a higher class, especially with the USB 3.0 ports. Those are the sorts of generic things that a lot of people can certainly get behind. And I have to say that the X240 is kind of a fan favorite for me personally. That power bridge, it's running that Ultrabook lower wattage CPU. You're not going to be pushing it as hard as the X230. That's not even a question. However, not everybody needs to do that. And so long as you are willing to make a couple concessions for that thinner profile, the dual battery system, you know, you are making a couple of sacrifices, but you are gaining a few things as well. So depending on what your needs are, what your use case is, and what you need to get out of your machine, you have some excellent choices in front of you that you can probably get locally anywhere from $1 to $3, maybe $350 US dollars, maybe even less, depending on who's selling and where and what condition and what work you're willing to put in. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this video. It's pretty rare that I can get so many computers all at once on my countertop, and that is primarily thanks to a very generous individual in the community, and you know who you are, and I thank you once again for allowing me to borrow all these machines to bring them to our audience here today. If you have any questions about what of these machines I'd recommend, or any questions about any content that you've seen in this video, or if you have something to add that I may have missed, please feel free to do so in the comments down below. And if you really enjoyed this content, be sure to, you know, give me a thumbs up there. And if you really want to see what comes next, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell. If you want to see what's going on outside of videos, we have a YouTube community now, and I'm also active on Twitter. And if there is a question that you want to ask and you don't really feel like using either one of those, I also have Curious Cat as well. Thank you much for tuning in, and I shall see you next time.